Hi, you guys. So this video is all about breakfast. I want to give you tons of breakfast ideas so that you're never bored, and a lot of quick, easy ideas so you don't have to spend a ton of time in the kitchen on those days that you just don't have time. Okay, so I want to start by saying during breakfast, we want to focus on getting protein and healthy fats in the morning, not carby options. And so for many people, the tendency is like these carby convenient foods like bagels, English muffins, um, muffins from Starbucks, like so many carby loaded things that are easy to grab, but it just sets us up on a sugar roller coaster all day long. So I want you to focus on getting a power protein breakfast with healthy fats so you feel satiated, that you're energized and satiated from food. You're not crashing an hour later or like starving an hour later. Okay, so we're gonna start. Let me share my screen with you. The first set of ideas is with eggs. So eggs are an easy go-to. You can do, I preferably buy the free range organic eggs if you can, and to do them any way you like. So one thing I love is just an easy omelet mixed with chopped vegetables, with bacon. You can add avocado with that to get your healthy fats. And things that are easy to throw in are like spinach. I'll buy like the pre-chopped onions and peppers, throw those in. Have some mushrooms. You can even buy these pre-chopped frozen to keep in your freezer if you just like don't have time, or chop a ton on like a Sunday and keep them in the freezer to have to throw in all week long. And you can always blend up some broccoli or cauliflower, throw that in. I would cook them in ghee or avocado oil or at like lower temperatures with olive oil. And so you can do omelet, you can just do a scrambled egg, you can do boiled eggs. You can boil a bunch of eggs and have those for grab and go. I've got tons of clients that do that. They'll make a ton of eggs on like a Sunday and just have them throughout the week. And you can pair that with some avocados or guacamole. And then scrambled eggs with bacon. So bacon is great. And as I mentioned in the first video, bacon, definitely get like the pasture raised, hormone free, antibiotic free bacon so that you're getting good quality fat versus stuff that's filled with toxins and hormones. So it's definitely worth it for bacon to buy the good stuff. And you can do things like egg muffins are a really big hit. So just using a cupcake tin and making some egg muffins one time and then eat them all week long. And they freeze really well. So you can also just make a ton one day and just keep them in the freezer and then warm them up in the oven. Or if you need to use the microwave, you can do that. And so that's a super easy one. And you can add in bacon, chopped vegetables into those too. And then frittatas. I love frittatas. So they're so easy. Just cook, make one big frittata and have that for a couple days. And I've got some recipes in here to make it even easier. Okay. So other things you can do is like a burrito, breakfast burrito, or a breakfast quesadilla or a taco. You can use the Siete brand tortillas that are awesome. So if you haven't heard of Siete, they've got like almond flour, cashew flour tortillas that are great. You can also use and you can get those at Whole Foods. They've got them pretty much at all stores now. You just have to look in the freezer section. And you can also order the hard shells online. You can also order them online on Amazon. And they also have hard crispy shells too if you want to do like a hard taco. And there's some lower carb tortillas that I love that it's called Nuco wraps. So they're coconut wraps and they're so good, and you could use that. They're very low carb and that's why I love them. You can get those on Amazon or Thrive Market. Okay, and then in your breakfast taco, I mean, you could be eggs, vegetables, salsa. You can do sausage, grass-fed beef. You can do some bacon. And then for sausages, that's another thing that you can do is brands like Applegate has great sausages. They've got frozen sausages in the freezer section. They have these links that are awesome. I just keep them in my freezer. They're like these easy throw in the skillet in those emergency days. They also have Costco sells like the big links of Adele's brand sausages. And so the chicken and apple ones are really good. And some other brands are like Balinski's and Bratwans. What I look for in the brand is that they are minimal ingredients. So it's just like pork, water, salt, like some spices, and no cheese, no weird additives. You just like want to be able to recognize the ingredients and that they are preferably pasture raised and hormone free, antibiotic free. Okay. Next, we already talked about bacon and sausage. So other ideas for the morning. So if you're like a yogurt person with granola, we can swap that out. Okay, so yogurts, you can do things like So Delicious dairy-free coconut milk yogurt. Find the unsweetened varieties like the one pictured here. Some of them, like the flavored ones, have a lot of sugar in them, so I would just be mindful of that and choose the unsweetened. And you can always add in like stevia. You can add in a little bit of honey if you want it sweeter, but sweeten it yourself so that you don't have to put, you can monitor how much you're putting in, like 5 grams of sugar versus like 25 grams of sugar. And you can add in berries, you can add in nuts, you can add in berries, you can add in grainless granola, and I'm gonna share a lot about those in the slide, but things like whole meat granola is great. You can throw that in there, and it's low carb and more protein. You can also throw in protein powder. So protein powders that I love to put in yogurt, I would do like unsweetened. All right, so now if you're a shake or a yogurt person, we're gonna talk about that. So some protein shakes are a great idea for on the go. I would get one that's non-dairy, non-soy, no rice or pea protein. And your best protein base, I would say, would be like a grass-fed bovine or bone broth protein or a collagen protein. And you want to get it from a grass-fed cow. And brands I like are Amy Myers has a great one, Pure Paleo, JJ Virgin has a good one, and if you are vegan doing this reset, then brands like Truvani or Evolved brand would be the brands I'd recommend. And those are pea protein, organic pea protein. But for all of you who aren't, I would definitely choose the grass-fed bovine bone broth or collagen. And then Vital Proteins has a great collagen protein that I have just to put in water. I put it in coffee. You can put it in your yogurt. You can do so many things with it. And it's giving you that extra burst of protein, and it's awesome for your joints, for your hair, skin, nails. So good for you to add in collagen. Okay, and so protein shake tips, you can do them with coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, water. You don't even need any nut milk. You can just do water and ice. You can do frozen berries. You just throw in some frozen greens. Cashew butter, almond butter are some good additives. You can do like cinnamon and other spices if you want to. Cacao powder or things like ground flaxseed milk can be great too. All right, so yogurts, we're doing dairy free, but there's so many dairy free yogurts. So Delicious brand, Forager brand is a great brand. They've got Cocoa yogurt now, and I'll be sharing more of these with you. And you just want to choose one that's dairy free, that is unsweetened. And so make sure to check the sugar grams, because some of them are so sneaky. They have like 26 grams of sugar. And if you want it sweeter, like if the unsweetened isn't sweet enough, you can always add honey, add some stevia, add monk fruit, and just be mindful of how much you're adding. So if you add honey or maple syrup, that's okay. Just know how much you're putting in there. And you can add nuts and berries. You can add grainless granola. I'm going to share a bunch with you in the next slide, but things like homey granola and these grainless granola clusters that are so good, and you can just throw those right in. All right, next things are like bagels, pancakes, and muffins. So if you're a huge bagel person, in the future you want a bagel, Foxhill Kitchens has some awesome everything bagels, and you can put Kite Hill cream cheese on them. That's an almond milk based cream cheese. They're so good. And you can keep these in the freezer. So maybe it's not an everyday thing, but like once in a while, if you're just craving something carby or you just like want a bagel, it's always really nice to have on hand. And you can toast it, and you can even make like a pizza bagel with it. Super good. And then those are online. And then 3-ingredient paleo pancakes, you can do those. It's just eggs, banana, and baking powder, and then optional cinnamon and vanilla extract. They're so easy and they're so good. They taste like French toast. And then Birch Benders also has instant paleo pancakes. These are awesome. They sell them pretty much everywhere now, even Walmart. And it's a paleo baking mix. I can pull it up. I'm hoping you can still see my screen. If not, here it is. This is what they look like. These Birch Bender Paleo pancakes. You can get them on Amazon in my list, or you can get them pretty much any store. and they're delicious. They're so good. They also have keto ones that are a little bit lower carb, so you could always do that too. Okay, back to our, okay. Then, oops. Okay, then Goodies has some paleo pancakes. It's also one of my favorite brands. Get those on Amazon. Instant. You guys, you literally just add water and throw it into a pan. And then Goodies also has muffins that are delicious. You add coconut oil and eggs, and you get these delicious muffins. They're super low carb, clean ingredients. And there's a 1 minute English muffin DIYs. If you're a big English muffin person, here's a super easy recipe to make one. And then Mikey's is a brand that also does English muffins and like chocolate muffin tops, and they're frozen and you can buy them at Target. I think Walmart has them. They've got a, you can go on there on Amazon. You can go on Amazon and find those right here. Grain-free English muffins. That's what the box looks like. This is for 6 boxes worth of them. So if you really like them, or you can find them in the store, just go to mikeys.com and look at the store locator to find a place near you. All right, more muffins. Susie's is my favorite brand, and they are now getting into Whole Foods. They are in Central Market, H-E-B if you're in Texas, and they've got amazing, like their double chocolate muffin is so good. And they're low carb, they're real food ingredients, and they're amazing for grab and go to keep in your freezer in just those more. So let's talk muffins. All right, Susie's grain-free muffins are the best. They sell them now in Whole Foods, H-E-B, Central Market if you're in Texas. You can order them online, and they're great. You can keep them in the freezer and just have as grab and go. They're awesome for those emergency mornings. They're great for if you want something sweet, if you want a dessert, like they're just something great to have to reach for versus a Starbucks muffin. Like so much better. And they're real food ingredients and they taste awesome. So my favorite's the double chocolate chip. They also have like a banana chocolate chip that's really good. They have a blueberry. So all really good options. You can melt some almond butter on it. It's amazing. Okay, next I've provided some recipes for you guys. Cinnamon roll muffins, easy blueberry muffins, and chocolate protein powder muffins. All of these use minimal ingredients because I am all about minimal ingredients and just making stuff as easy and streamlined as possible. So these are great recipes that you can check out. And you can also just Google low carb paleo muffins. If you have like a certain muffin that you love, use those search terms. And if you're confused if it's a good choice, send it to me. I'll help you out. All right, next is bowls, casseroles, and frittatas. So I've provided some recipes for some really great breakfast bowls that are super easy. Some breakfast casseroles. Casseroles are one of my favorite things to make because you make them once and you eat all week long. And it's like, it takes so much of the effort and decision making out of it. So check out these casseroles. This is a crispy, cheesy breakfast casserole. Basically combinations of basically like a big eggs, onions, peppers, bacon. And I know some people like oatmeal, so we want to have swaps for that. So like things like banana nut porridge. That's this recipe here. You can add in some collagen protein to make them extra protein rich. And then I've provided some chia seed pudding is delicious. So, and super easy. Here's a cinnamon banana one. You just put like chia seeds and coconut milk and put it in the fridge overnight with some spices and fruit if you want. And it gets kind of like gelatinous. It's really good. Caramel, onion, and sweet potato frittata. So many recipes here you can check out. And then if you need some on the go stuff, so Grainless granola is so good and such an easy grab, especially for road trips or quick mornings. You can throw them in your yogurt, you can throw them in just coconut milk, or you can just eat by itself dry. So Homey, Wild Way, Paleonola, those are my 3 favorite granolas. I also love Paleo Elizabeth's granola. You just have to check because some of hers have oats in them and are super carby. So just check. And what we're doing here, these grain-free granolas are so much lower carb than like a regular granola. And they're not filled with grains and they're not going to spike your blood sugar like a normal granola would or like oatmeal would. Okay, then cereal. If you're a cereal person, I got you. Catalina Crunch is a keto cereal. And then Thrive Coconut Flakes and Nuco Coconut Flakes cereal. These are a little carby, but they're really good. So just be mindful of how much you're eating. I would just have that paired with something else that's protein rich and some healthy fats. And then if you're someone who really likes oatmeal or like a hot porridge, you can also do Wild Way has a hot cereal, and so does Paleo Elizabeth. And I've put those in the Amazon list, and you can also find those at Whole Foods and Sprouts and things like that. And then there's another one on the Amazon list. It's like an instant paleo hot cereal, and that's another option too. So many things for just to keep in your pantry to have to grab as backup options. All right, and other things you can grab are like bars are great for the mornings. So Paleo Caveman bars is my number one recommendation. That's a really great one. Perfect Keto bars are good. Epic bars, the chicken sriracha one is amazing. These are more like jerkies, but they're very good and they're made from sustainably raised animals and they're high protein, really good if you're into meat. Susie's Muffins, as I mentioned, RX bars are great. You just have to be mindful of sugar because they are date based and have about 15 grams. Thunderbird bars, again, mindful of sugar. They've got about 15 grams as well and a little bit carby. So they're good quality ingredients, but these are something that I wouldn't be eating a ton of. Just be mindful when you eat them. Primal Kitchen has some bars. Their almond spice bars really good. Jerkies are great. Chomp sticks are like Vermont sticks. Both of those are great jerky options to grab in the morning. Evo hemp bars are another one that I love, but they are also date based, so be mindful of carbs and sugar. Apples and almond butter. You can get these like nut butter packets. I've listed some links here that are really nice for grab and go. Grab yourself an apple, grab yourself some almond butter if you're in a jam. That's really good to have. And then Adonis bars are great. Those are in the UK also. So if you're somebody that's listening to this from Europe, those are a great option for you. And then the grainless granolas that I've mentioned with a yogurt, good for grab and go. More breakfast. Okay, so this is one thing I love the most is thinking about breakfast as meal one, meal two, meal three, not as like breakfast food. So sometimes we get stuck in the box of breakfast food thinking it has to be like toaster strudel and French toast and pancakes and eggs. But in reality, it's just another meal. So honestly, you guys, what I do in the mornings is eat like a burger or chicken and vegetables. And so it may sound weird at first, but it opens up so much more as far as options go. And it can make things really easy. I often just eat leftovers in the morning. I'll throw chicken in the crock pot at night and then eat that in the morning, and it's ready to go. And some sweet potatoes or some spinach, sautéed spinach, or other vegetables in the morning, roasted asparagus. So other things like that can make it really easy. So I to open up your mind and maybe start trying to do that instead. You know, have some burgers for breakfast or steak or some fish. Have some burgers or steak or roasted vegetables for breakfast, and instead of having to feel stuck in that like breakfast mindset of food. So there are your breakfasts. I hope that this was enough ideas for you to get started and to start experimenting and trying breakfasts out that you like, what works, what doesn't work. And if you need more ideas, reach out. And I'd love to hear what kind of things you're excited about, what kind of things you're excited to try.